So in this bonus video, I want to talk about Ernesto Miranda, and that's his booking photo right there. 23 years old in 1963. So he's born in 1940. In 1963, he's suspected of stealing $8 from a bank employee. At the same time, the police get a tip that he's also involved in a kidnap rape that happened about a week and a half before. The victim had a description of the vehicle and a partial license plate number, and her family drove around because they didn't know who did this at first. It was a random kidnapping and rape. So family members are driving all around Phoenix, and they're looking for this car, and they're looking for a car with this particular partial license plate number. One of the family members stumbles on it. So they call the police, and they're like, hey, I think this is the car. So they started looking at Miranda. They realized they had another case on him. They bring him in for questioning on both of the cases. Ultimately, he admits to the theft, and he admits to the kidnapping. He admits to the rape. But they haven't read him his rights. They haven't advised him of his rights, or there was a question about it. I'll put it that way. So even though he signed a form saying, I know all my rights, because they didn't explicitly read them to him, that's why his case ended up in front of SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States. Now, this is 1963. He's in jail this whole time because he got convicted. And in 1966, the Supreme Court comes out and says, no, we're reversing it. Well, they kept him in custody and they retried him. And what they did was they said, hey, we're not going to admit his confession, his written confession. But in the meantime, his wife had gone to visit him in prison. And she asked him, hey, did you kidnap and rape this girl? And he tells his wife, yeah, I did. So that she testifies at his trial, bam, he gets convicted again and sentenced to prison for the theft, which he was already serving time for, and the kidnap and the rape. Now, if I ever say kidnap and murder, I don't mean to say that. It's a kidnap and rape. The girl got away. She did not get murdered. Now, here's the interesting thing. Dude gets paroled in 1972. And if you do the math on that, 1963 he's hooked up, 1972 he's paroled for kidnap and rape. Well, because the laws, the minimum sentencing standards were not where they are today. So yeah, he's out on parole, but he can't get a job because everybody knows who he is because this case was so huge in America. So he's got these cards with the Miranda warnings written on them. He goes around, he sells these things, he autographs them and sells them. Well, he's out on the streets for 4 years, still on parole. And of course, he's hanging out with people that are dangerous. He gets involved in this poker game and he gets into an argument over $2 and change. That's it. $2. It's like a Better Off Dead movie. I want my $2. Gets into this bar fight because of this poker game and a dispute over $2. And the guy stabs him multiple times, kills him. The guy runs away. The suspect runs away. But the guy who gave him the knife that he used to stab Miranda with, he gets hooked up. And the police, here's irony for you, the police read this suspect as Miranda rights. Says, hey, you don't have to talk to us. You have the right to remain silent. And the guy hears this and he's like, okay, I'm staying silent. I'm not giving you a statement. They had no other evidence against the guy. He got away. The guy who killed Miranda got away. The guy who gave him the knife to the guy that killed Miranda got away. So Miranda, his case remains unsolved. Wow. Check that out, right? So Miranda establishes the case law that lets his own killer or the guy who's implicated in his murder go free. That's it. Yeah, that's all the videos for chapter 1. Enjoy. Now you're fully prepared for the quiz. Just letting you know.